It feels like the second you get excited about casino, somebody hands you a CVS receipt full of all the turns you have to learn, which feels like an impossible task, and it will be, if you treat each one like a unique snowflake. But if you're familiar with these beginner turns, I'm gonna show how to break down more complex figures into their basic parts to make the idea of learning the scary turns a lot more approachable. Here's 5 examples that'll get you the feel for using casino math, and we'll start with an easy one. If you've only done some beginner classes, this one probably looks like wizardry, but guess what? If you learn Basila, you already know how to do it. Just switch the hands to initiate the turn with the right-to-right connection, then catch her left hand underneath, which you can use to help her complete a rotation. Bring the arms down together at the wrists and guide her towards your right shoulder, and give each other hats. My tip here is to practice this part over and over again, because it's probably going to be the only unfamiliar movement in the turn. Ready for another one that seems like sorcery, but you already know how to do it? El uno is just enchufa doble with a right-to-right connection, and the hands stay low behind the foul's back. Since you already know the feet, I would just practice the upside down windshield wiper action in the arms. Make sure you let the hands rotate so you can thumb wrestle. It's going to help her complete the pivots. And again, bring the arms down with the wrist together when you guide her to the right shoulder to keep the turn from getting too flat. So those are 2 that are just jazzed up versions of single turns that you already know. Now let's start combining them. When beginners first see Setenta, it appears to be a turn that is well outside of their capabilities. So the fact that it's just Basila, some walking, and then Pati Pami makes it a perfect demonstration of how developing a thorough understanding of the single arm turns, like I do in my smash hit course, Casino Fundamentals, makes adding more complicated looking turns to your repertoire so much easier. For this one, you just want to practice Pati Pami at a little bit of a steeper angle, then add the second arm and you're good to go. Yet another example of how all the advanced turns are just things you already know with some added smoke and mirrors, we've got Juana La Cubana. I don't know how many weeks it takes to learn Basila, Dile, enchufa, and exhibela, but that's exactly how long it takes to learn this turn, at least the footwork. The arms take a little bit of practice, but warm up with the single hand version first to lock in the positions. Before we go over the last turn, the follow-up course to Casino Fundamentals will have an entire section dedicated to breaking down some of the more advanced turns that you're likely to come across. It's available for pre-order right now. I've got a promo going where the first 50 people can get it for $50.
And it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to say the first 100. Let me know in a comment what turns you would like to see covered. One of them, without a doubt, is going to be this fan favorite right here. Whether you love it or you hate it, if you can do enchufa doble and turn over your right shoulder, you can do it. Of course, it's Kentucky. Start with regular old enchufa doble and just add a right turn over the lead shoulder on the last 5, 6, 7. When you add in the second arm, the back and forth is just going to be a cuddle from one nook to the other. The hot tip here is before the leads turn to act like they're flipping the bird with their left hand, and be sure to let go with the right hand once you feel like you're going to yank the follow behind you. Those are just 5 examples to get a feel for using casino math to figure out more difficult turns. I'll be adding more detailed breakdowns to the intermediate casino playlist, and if you still think you need some of the fundamentals, those are located here.